Hey there tech fans, Rick here again from the OREI team with an overview of the ToVi X4 Wall-Plate Encoder. This product is part of the new ToVi system from OREI, which allows you to easily create a flexible and expandable AV over IP solution for distributing all of your media content to multiple remote locations at the same time over a single IP connection. This product was designed to easily fit into a standard wall box, which makes the installation incredibly neat. The product fully supports 4K media content and is both HDMI 2.0B as well as HDCP 2.2 compliant, which means it's plug-and-play compatible with a wide range of modern media equipment. It also provides audio extraction capabilities where it can digitally separate the audio component from the media you're distributing to those remote locations and allows you to pass that audio along to a soundbar, a home stereo, or even an amplifier system for that full theater experience. It also provides KVM functionality, which allows you to connect the keyboard and mouse up at one of those remote locations to remotely control the computer connected at the primary location. And finally, the entire solution employs the very latest in power over Ethernet technology, which means when you plug this into a PoE capable switch, you won't need to plug in a power supply, which greatly simplifies your wiring. Now, as part of this overview, I'd like to start with a quick unboxing first, just to show you everything that's included with the product. And then I'll take a closer look at the unit, and I'll explain the connections and indicators so you understand exactly how to use it. I'll list the features and functions that this product provides, and then I'll come back and do a short demonstration to show you just how easy it'll be to add this product to an existing ToVi network. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first pop open the box, you'll find the unit. You'll find a single 12-volt, 2.5 amp DC power supply. You can plug this end of it into any standard wall outlet. The other end of the cable has a connection on it which plugs into the back of the unit and provides all the power you'll need for operation. But remember, because this is PoE compliant, if you plug this into a PoE switch, you won't need that power supply. You'll find a group of connectors you can use on the rear for the audio extraction functions, as well as screws for mounting. And finally, a full instruction manual is also included that lists connection diagrams, specifications, and a lot of other really good information about this product that you'll need to understand in order to use it correctly. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at the unit, I'll list those features and functions, and then I'll come back and do that demonstration. The ToVi X4 Wall-Plate Encoder was designed to fit inside of a standard electrical wall box, which makes the installation both easy and very neat. The entire solution features a full metal enclosure, which makes it really durable and helps to minimize outside interference from causing any issues with the sensitive electronics inside. On the rear of the unit, you'll find a cooling fan and ventilation slots on the front, and that fan will pull air through the cabinet, keeping the electronics inside at a very comfortable temperature. On the front of the unit, starting on the left, you'll find two USB-C and a full-sized HDMI port, and these are used for connecting an external media device to the encoder that you'd like to share the content from with the remote location. And you can use any of these connections and easily select between them by tapping the source button. This product features KVM functionality, which allows you to connect the keyboard and mouse up at the decoder side to remotely control a computer connected at the encoder side. And you'll need to make a connection from this port right here to your computer to enable that function. Once you connect this to your computer, both of the USB-A ports become active, and you can use these for connecting external devices like a microphone or a camera to that computer. On the top, you'll find three LEDs, status, USB-C, and HDMI. The status indicator will initially be off. Once you connect this to your network and power it up, it'll start searching for a decoder operating on the same channel as this encoder. And it'll blink when it's searching for that. When it finds a decoder on the same channel, it'll come on solid, indicating a pairing with that decoder and content being sent across the network. So that should be on solid during normal operation. These two indicators let you know which of the input ports is currently active, and again, you can switch between them by tapping the source button. On the rear of the unit, again, there's a cooling fan. You'll also find a LAN port right there. You can connect this to your local switch, and that's the only connection you'll need to the network. And again, this features power over Ethernet technology, so if your switch is also PoE capable and you plug it in here, that's all the power you'll need for operation. Along this side, you'll find a series of Molex connections. This unit provides audio extraction capabilities as well, which will digitally separate the audio component from the media that you're sending to the remote location and allows you to pass that along here locally to a soundbar, home stereo, or an amplifier system through this audio output port right there. You can also inject audio into the media stream through this port. To the right of that is an RS-232 connector. You can actually control this from a local computer through RS-232, or you can use the network control hub to easily control this product. And finally, there's a DC input port right there that's used with the included power supply. You can plug that power supply into a wall outlet and plug that connector in here to provide power for the unit. But again, because this is PoE capable, if you plug this into a PoE switch, you won't need to worry about that power supply. The OREI ToVi X4 Wall-Plate Encoder is compatible with most modern HDMI media sources, including digital projectors, game consoles, streaming devices, computer systems, and media players like Apple TV. The product's features include full support of 4K media content. It offers both an HDMI and a USB-C input connection. It's both HDMI 2.0B as well as HDCP 2.2 compliant. It provides 328 feet of both unicast or multicast extension between the primary and secondary locations, and features KVM functionality, ARC compliance, and full PoE support. Now I'll show you the connections you'll need to make to use the ToVi X4 Wall-Plate Encoder with your own system. And for this demonstration, over here I've set up a mini PC that's currently connected to this monitor. I've also set up a small media player as my input devices that I'd like to share the content from with the rest of my network. Over here I've set up a second monitor, and this represents one of those remote locations where I'd like to enjoy the content from the primary location. And these can be up to 100 meters apart. I've also set up a receiver module at that remote location that's connected to the monitor, and I've also connected it to the PoE switch that I'm using to form the backbone of my network. In front of me, I've got the ToVi X4 Wall-Plate Encoder. Now the first connection I'll make from the module is directly to the network, and I need a LAN cable to do that. I've got a Cat6 cable right here that I'll plug into the LAN port on the encoder, and the other end of it into any open port on a PoE switch. Now watch the lights on the front of this. The minute I plug it in, the lights start blinking, and that's because it's a PoE device, which means the switch can send power over that LAN connection, and then this unit starts its internal power on self-test, where it's checking the electronics. It's also starting to look across the network for a companion receiver that it can send media content to. Now I've already set up a relationship between these two modules using the network control hub. All we need to do at this point is add media content, and one of the advantages of this particular product is that it provides both USB-C connections for input and full-sized HDMI ports for input. So I'll start by connecting the media player through an HDMI connection on the front, and I'll plug that into the HDMI port. And the switch on the front that says source can switch between them. Right now, I've moved over to HDMI, so it'll take a second for it to recognize that media content input, and then you'll see it show up over here. So that media player is looping a video, and that's what you're viewing right there. Now I can connect the computer to the USB-C by using a standard USB-C to USB-C cable, and I'll plug that into the computer first. The other end of it, I'll plug into one of the USB-C connections right here, and then I can use the source switch to switch between them. So I'll tap that once, and it moved over to USB-C, and there's the computer. So that switch on the front allows you to easily switch between different media inputs connected to different media devices. Now one of the really nice features this product provides is that KVM functionality, which allows you to connect the keyboard mouse up at the remote location to remotely control a computer connected at the primary location. And the first thing you'll have to do to make that happen is to connect the encoder module directly to your computer using a USB-C cable like this one. So I'll plug that into the front of the encoder module. And then at the remote location, I can connect, I've got a wireless mouse here with a dongle. I'll plug that into one of the USB-A ports on the front, and then watch what happens to my computer. You can see that I'm moving the mouse around. So effectively, I'm remotely controlling a computer at the primary location from this secondary location, which is up to 100 meters away, and all of that happens over that single network connection. And it really is just that easy to get it working. I hope you found this overview of the ToVi X4 Wall-Plate Encoder helpful. This product provides a very easy way for you to add media content to an existing ToVi network and distribute that content to multiple remote locations at the same time, and even send it to one location that can create a gigantic video wall using a grouping of receivers. The product fully supports 4K media content, and it's both HDMI 2.0B as well as HDCP 2.2 compliant, which means it's going to be plug-and-play compatible with all of your modern media equipment. It also provides audio extraction capabilities where it can separate the audio from the media you're distributing and allows you to pass that along to your stereo, your soundbar, or even an amplifier system for that full theater experience. The KVM functionality allows you to connect the keyboard mouse at one of the remote locations to remotely control the computer at the primary location. And because it's using power over Ethernet technology, when you plug this into a PoE capable switch, you can completely eliminate the power supply. And finally, it provides two different styles of connections on the front to make it really easy to connect it to your media gear, a full-sized HDMI port, and two USB-C ports for modern equipment or even portable equipment, so you can easily distribute the media content from those products across that ToVi network. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections, you can be up and running in no time. So until next time, thanks again for watching.